The RC four-wheel drive Trail Finder 2 10th scale electric off-road truck. Now it's been a little while since I did a build video, and I think it's about time that I did. Before I start this epic truck, I know that I have to show you this. Kyle Ishii, a 16-year-old digital graphic designer, did a digital likeness of Medic and sent it in to me, and I think it's appropriate for an epic build like this, that an epic shirt like this should be shown off. Good job, man. I appreciate you watching the show and sending in the artwork. Let's get this truck unboxed and start the build. Alright, so I've unwrapped the box already. I didn't need to do all that crinkling in the video for you. I love the first sentence that it says right underneath the body panel here, where adventure can happen anywhere. And that is the ultimate truth with scale RC trucks. You guys can take this anywhere. The snow, the dirt, the sand, the mud. As long as you have one, you can go and have some fun. Okay, so here we go. Inside the box, what do we have? It's the first time I'm seeing in there as well. Let's remove this foam pad. Oh man, wait till you see this. Well laid out, eh? Look at that. I know. I'm almost in envy of myself just for having it there. This looks like the instruction booklet. We all know how we feel about these. They are a must read when you're putting together your trucks. You want to make sure to do it right. Now, one of the things I wanted to focus on here right away, and here I've got nothing in the background on purpose because I want you to be able to see what I'm showing you. Look at that. All aluminum. Everything's put together. All the gears are already done. Look at those steering hubs. Like a ball in a cup. Right there. Already assembled. I love it. The sheer realism of that alone is amazing. The other one, the rear. You can see there's no steering knuckles on it. Look at this. The piece de la resistance. Gorgeous. Transfer case. Output drives, hey? For your drive shafts. Look at this machined piece of glory. I love it. Transmission. Put together. There's the spur gear. I can't tell you what it is yet because I don't know. I haven't looked. This will be the motor mount though, where the pinion goes. Isn't that delicious? Alright, moving on. Also, we've got the 1.55 rims in here. These are bead locks. Okay, check it out. I'd unwrap that, but we don't need to yet in the build. We might as well keep unpacking. It's almost like Christmas time. I love this kind of thing. Now, remove this to reveal the frame rails. Okay? Frame rails, and it looks like cross members to put together the ladder frame. This is going to be fun. Is there another layer under there? Is there? There is. Another layer. It's just like a layer of goodness, one after another. Here we go. I'm starting to lay out the pieces. Tires. Here's the tires. Look at that. Not super nubby. I'll put them in front of the white so you can see. Enough on there for tread. Scale mud thrashers. Okay. Even says on the side 37 by 13.5 R15s. Now, I've always wanted an ultra scale truck because that's the real challenge when you're going out doing trailing, is seeing if you can put yourself in those positions where a real truck would be and let your imagination do the rest. Okay, pieces for the body, pieces for assembly. Look at that. The Mojave, all the studio lights in the background lighting it up. Here, let's see, here we go. The Mojave body set. Now, this by itself is a project. You can make this look as beautiful or as dented or as realistic as you want. It's just a matter of practice and figuring out what you think you want to do with your new scale ride, because this is meant to be shot with a video camera or out in a trail run, because my friends, there isn't much better, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look inside the box, because I know now with all my chit chat and you want me to actually slice that open. Having a look around, doing a little bit of scissors here. Got some body scissors on the side. And kablamo, there we go. Crinkling on camera. Oh, some of you guys like it. There we go. Kind of like getting you right in the action with me here. Ready for this? We're both new. We haven't seen this yet. All of us are seeing it for the first time. Here we go. RC four-wheel drive. Oh, interesting. Yellow. This is good. This will allow scuff marks if I want to scuff it to look amazing. Okay, so inside I've got the chrome package, right? We're having a look at the different parts tree that are inside. Looks like right here, I'll put this box down so we can see properly. Dash section, there's where the steering wheel would go. Looks like I've got some front mounting plates, and this is amazing, guys. Check this out. A dropped box. This is a rare treat. A, hard body. B, dropped box. So for scale accessories, the way you want to drop it down, if you wanted to have a servo, moving it on hydraulics, you know, whatever you need, you already have this drop box. You don't have to fabricate it. So big bonus right there. And of course, with the matching back cab plate in here, comes with the window on the inside. Okay, help splash proof things from the top, and add for the realism, and of course the body. Now this is not a rush into project for me. RC four-wheel drive offers amazing scale products, and these trucks themselves, for me, in my opinion, are more of a boutique kind of item. Like, RC four-wheel drive has high-end quality stuff, and if you want to check them out, here's a good reason why. So I've left a link in the video description box below, and you guys are always welcome to comment on this kind of stuff, of course. You know, and if you're not aware of this store, well, here's a good opportunity for you to find out where to get some scale accessories and where to get some of these rigs. Okay, so I don't know if you have one of these and you're going to be building along with me, but I think, you know what? Why don't we just do it right now? Alright, so I've gone ahead and turned the lights up in the studio because I wanted to see everything that was being laid out. It's time to get technical. This is the almighty instruction booklet. The bonus from RC four-wheel drive is that it's actually really straightforward. It starts off with the warranty information, and it goes into how to put these things together. Now, always important for the new people watching this to keep your instruction booklet, especially if you don't have a good memory on how this stuff goes back together, and or if you need a part, because sometimes even though the part numbers aren't specifically on here, you can say on page 5 blah blah blah, I needed this part, right, at your hobby store or wherever you get the parts from. Hey, there's the warranty. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with the build. One of the things people always say to me is, Medic, how do I go ahead and do a build properly when I'm doing a kit? It's my first one. Is there a way you suggest? Really, the most important thing for me is to lay out your parts. Hey, you want to make sure that you're pretty systematic when you're putting this stuff together. So I've got all my parts from the wheels to the axles all the way down to the transmission to bag A, B, C, and D, and the ladder frame on this side. I'm sure my build's going to start with the ladder frame, so it's closest to me. Best thing I can do is make sure all of my tools are prepared, and on page 1 it basically tells me the entry-level tools that I'm going to need. Hex driver, thread lock, cross wrench, and long nose pliers. Well, on the workbench I've got that stuff near me, plus I've got my hex driver here with interchangeable bits. Okay, here you can have a look at that over here. You guys have seen me use these before, and you always ask me, Medic, where do you get your bits? Because you're using a drill. Now, I only use a drill as an independent builder and videographer. I use this drill on a very light setting, okay? It's like basically all the way down to 0 torque, so I'm not stripping anything on the actual truck. I use these hex bit drivers, which are factory factory team. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I actually picked these up at pmhobbycraft.ca, my local hobby store. I'm sure you can find some anywhere at your local hobby store. So on to step 1. Basically what I'm going to do is clear the area that I'll be working in, which is just right here for you guys. Going into step 1, finding the pieces, laying out the ladder frame, and I'll get back to you in just a few moments when we're ready to go. Wow, look at this. This is something that I'm not used to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4 is 20 little bags of individually marked pieces. No more searching through everything. Now I can see that each one is labeled and I know what to use. Awesome idea. Now, all the parts have basically been laid out, right from the front all the way to the back. Now, you want to make sure that you start at the front. Choose one side or the other, basically. Right? You want to make sure that the symmetry is in line. I lined up most of the screws the way they should be. Not all of them are 100%, but you know, basically the way the instruction book laid it out. So I'm going to lay the shackles in here, and I'm also going to be using the small nut that it came with. Make sure that you have your cross driver right here, right? The wrench itself. Make sure that the screw is in place the way you'd like it to be. And of course the nut is in the driver. Right like that, my friends. Piece of cake. So you want to make sure the shackles are in place, everything is moving forward the way it should be, and you can move on to the next step. So you can see here that I've gone ahead and put all the pieces together on one side. All right, so this will better help you lay out the truck on the other side as just mimicking or bolting in the patterns that you need to do. So the side rails, the body posts, everything for the shock mount, the cross beams, as well as the protector underneath the skid plate there has already been done. Now, by no means do I say that this is how it has to be done. You're welcome to customize and do different things. Heck, I even may have missed something here. This is not my product, but still fun to put together. Figuring out how to do it is half of the fun by itself. So let's go ahead and put together everything else. You can see that on the front here, I've already done the shackles for the back. This will be for the leaf springs, I believe. Also at the front for the leaf springs, I believe. Inside goes the actual transmission and transfer case in the middle area here, and supporting beams that go across. Now, keep in mind, please, that even though I use a big, powerful drill, they always suggest that you hand torque these screws, right? Because when you're in there, you might want to get it in most of the way and then just give it a twist. That's the way I would normally suggest doing a hobby grade vehicle. Heck, that's half the fun, making sure it's torqued the way you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put this frame together, and then we can move on to the next step. Alright, just for one moment, because this is next in the instruction book, I'm going to hold up this amazing piece of fabrication again. Just so you can have a look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Transmission, scale, and motor mount. I just had to put on this side bracket in the instruction book as well as this side bracket, but I didn't need to show you me screwing it into place, but I did need to go over this one more time. This really kind of puts this vehicle in a category all by itself for scale realism and fun, hey? Really a connoisseur product. The Toyota Axle. Isn't that nice? Often referred to as a Yoda. Okay. Now, a lot of folks say to me, Medic, I often get overwhelmed by the amount of parts that go into a kit like this. And really, my friends, you don't have to worry because all you have to do is take it step by step by step. Each bag with all the screws basically go into a certain order. And if you can follow instructions, one after another, you're pretty much good to go. And like I had mentioned earlier, laying parts out for you to see easily is the best way to go. So the next part in the book, okay, now I always look a few steps ahead while I'm filming or even while I'm building myself, right? Here it showed the transmission that we just had a look at. Now it's showing the actual front. Here, have a look. It's showing the steering knuckle for the front axle and how we put in the front leading leaf springs, okay? Nothing more scale than leaf springs in a 10th scale truck, my friends. So 2 6mm screws, I already got those out. They'll line up with the top of the axle. As you can see here, we'll just drop the screws in. Piece of cake like so. I've got a driver on the side here, my hex driver. I could always tighten that up now if I wanted to, or I could wait for the second one. But for ease of use and to give you guys a better example of what it should look like as you're going, not too tight. There we go. Setting up one single leaf spring. And what I'm going to want to do is set this up on the other side, identical, like a mirror image. Just like so. Get that in there, drive it properly. Make sure that when you're turning these bolts that you're not actually cross-threading them, right? You don't want to do that because you need a nice snug fit. Out on the trails, when you're beating the heck out of this truck, you're going to want to make sure that it's locked into place. Now, a lot of folks may prefer to use Loctite on their screws and whatnot. Most of the screws on this truck can be Loctited. I actually don't use Loctite unless I absolutely need to. One place for sure that I use my Loctite, though, is on the drive shaft set screws. Now, I'm pretty sure that this truck actually has drive shaft set screws, and it will. So, I'll get into that when we get there. I'm going to go ahead and keep putting the leaf springs on the axles themselves, building them up the way they're supposed to, and then we'll be able to move forward and put them onto the truck itself. With both of the axles done, now it tells us to go ahead and to take the frame that we've put the transfer case and these dampener and leaf spring shackles on here, line up the leaf springs on the shackles themselves. We're going to use a step screw, okay? It's only like a top quarter of it is a screw. You push it through the shackle, all the way through to the other side, and have yourself prepared a lock nut, okay? Just a little tiny nut. There we go. I will actually use the cross wrench for this, okay? Either a cross wrench or a pair of needle nose pliers. I prefer the cross wrench because it's easier to work with. This one actually has a slightly bigger bit. In fact, this one is a 2.5mm bit that will help drive this nut into the actual lock nut, or drive the screw into the lock nut. Hand torquing it. No need to use the drill here. And I'm basically just going to repeat in the front shackle here as well. Okay, so same step screw goes through, right through the shackle, and right through the leaf spring into another lock nut. All right, so you can see here I've gone ahead and moved several steps so you can see more of a finished product. The top body plate has been put on. I put in the transfer case with the actual shaft that goes between the transfer case and the transmission with the spur gear and motor mount. Have a look at the front. Isn't that something else? leaf springs with dampeners attached. This is 80 millimeter dampeners, okay, shocks. Between here and there, we can push it up on that leaf spring and it's giving us an actual suspension. Now you can have a look at the back, apart from the very cool steering knuckles that I pointed out, okay? And the the axles are just stunning. Like when I look at the quality of that and the cast aluminum, it's actually great. For an RC addict like me, I guess. When I have a look at the back, look at how the rear suspension is set up. 100 millimeter dampeners there, again with the leaf spring shocks, but being on an angle gives the vehicle quite a bit of articulation, right? So if you're out there on the trails and you're doing a little bit of scaling using your imagination or your camera or whatnot, you're going to get some excellent shots, and I'm sure I will be in the upcoming season myself. So I put on the back and the front bumper plates, as well as a couple of posts in the rear. Everything is starting to come together. What do you think? Not too bad, hey? Now, I'm interested into finding out more about this transmission area. I haven't cracked this open, I haven't looked at it yet, just simply because I'm learning about the vehicle myself as well. But I certainly look forward to doing that. This has a treasure in it, I'm sure. Now, when I look at the actual tires, and you know, before I even get to the tires, let's have a look at these rear suspension leafs. I actually had these out on the table earlier, all lined up. This is in case you want to stiffen up the suspension. There are many sizes. Here, let's see if I can get a larger one out here. Look at that. There are many sizes that you can use to customize your suspension. Same with that rear suspension mount. There's actually 4 adjustment points for each one right here on the back, where you can actually make it higher or lower. So you can really dial in the suspension that you want. Now, kablamo, I've moved on to tires already, and off camera, I already made 3 of them. You'll see that I made them offset in the rims. I kind of like it that way. In the picture, it's a little bit different. I always like to be different, hey? Especially when I'm building stock things. Now, I'm moving on, and I actually didn't use the included foam that was with it. This is the standard foam that you get in any real tire. It's not memory foam. Basically, I don't use it because when water gets inside, it becomes waterlogged and makes the tire rumble a little bit or kind of be off balance. For me, and personal choice only, I run with no foam at all, which kind of makes your tire a little bit of a slouch on the bottom, especially once it gets worn. But for me, my friends, I'll tell you, the type of trailing that I do, the type of river or stream crossings that I do, I like to have a little bit of forgiveness in my tire, like any off-road tire offers in full scale, okay? So, of course, the foams will work great, and it'll give you great stiffness when you're going down the hill, but for my trailing needs right now, that's not what I wanted. So really simple, you guys, to set up a tire, just like the way I did it, or to put the foams inside. I've already taken a ring. Have a look at this. This ring is part of the tire system, right? Rear hub goes in it. Front hub goes just like so, and it's a bead lock system. It locks the bead of the tire into place. Let's have a look at how easily this can be done, okay? Inside ring, folks, we just take it, stretch it around the tire, okay? RC addicts that have been down this road before know what I'm talking about. Now the ring is just on the inside. See how it's fitting in the groove nice and easily? I'm going to make sure the direction of the tread, this one doesn't really matter. It can go either way, but some tires have different tread, right? Directional tread. Take that inside hub, put it along the bead or that inside indent of the tire, like so. Take that front portion of the hub. Now for me, it's going to be offset a little bit, so I'm just going to turn it. There we go. And it also comes with this rear piece, the rear hub that has all the screws in it. See, you can kind of see that. Sorry guys, it's an awkward angle without dumping the screws out. But I'm going to just place that on the back like so. Just like that. All the screws are in place. And now I'm actually going to push it through to the front to make sure the holes are lining up and I can get out those lugs, okay? So these are actually, have a look at the finished product like this. It's almost like lug nuts as they come through. The washers screw on through the bolts in the back, and you have yourself a bead locked tire. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish off the bead locks on that last one, and I'm going to have a look at what basically the completed roller will look like. Just put on the last nut that we have here, the lock nut. Off camera, I went ahead again and just did a little bit of work to look at the drive shafts. Look at that. It's really coming together now. Now, it's independent up front because I haven't done the steering rod, right? I haven't done where the front steering servo goes, so they're just flippity-floppity right now. Imagine trying to drive that down the road. But you can straighten these up, no problem. With the internal transmission, my friends... Now, I'm going to show you one thing. Remember I was talking about magic with the transmission because it's got to be that good when you see something manufactured like this? I'm sure you're all screaming it by now. Anybody know what this transmission is? Well, for those that don't know, I'll tell you. Look at right here. You see this little fella right here? And there's a little bracket right here. This is for a selectable two-stage transmission, high and low gear. Hey, this is something that we've all been waiting to see from any manufacturer, and it's been RC four-wheel drive to come out with a two-stage selectable transmission. I'm excited to use this. It just means more servos though, right? So front steering servo and side selectable servo for the transmission. But my friends, look at what a beast this is already. You know, I'm going to have to figure out some sort of amazing name for this machine all by itself because, you know, everyone will have a Mojave RC four-wheel drive Trailfinder 2, but the RC Spark Studio, well, we got to figure out something nice for this. Now, before I go on blathering about how nice it's going to be, let's go to the last part. One of the things I see that makes me question a little bit of something here or there is that the drive shaft yoke, okay, is really easy to put in there. So let's see, I just put in the little drive pin on the side here, and the plastic is really, really soft. So I'm interested to see how this lasts. Check this out. Now, it doesn't seem brittle, so this could be a big selling feature right there. But it's almost like I need a band. Look at that. I put it in by myself, just with my hands. So under any kind of torque or duress, I wonder if that's going to hold up. But at the same time, left as is, stock the way it is, being a 1.55 millimeter with super small tires, this drive shaft, if you were doing 1/10 of the punishment to it, would this really kind of hold up as a toy grade? And I think it will. Really, for the amount of mud and whatnot, the weight and the torque I can put on this, it really is going to come down to the electronics that I'm going to put into this Trailfinder 2. I already know what I'm going to put in here, but my friends, I'm going to say now you see the roller. I'll put in the drive shafts. Woo! Slidable drive shafts. Off camera, so you guys don't have to go through that with me. But there you go. Look at that. There's your roller. The new RC four-wheel drive Trailfinder 2, built by RC Sparks or me, DJ Medic, in an episode. Guys, if you want to follow along, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button if you want to check out new videos from my channel. Also, make sure, as even though I mentioned it down before, I got this at the RC4WheelDrive.com site. Everybody asks me all the time where I get my trucks. These guys have great scale products, and we're going to move on to the next stage, which will basically be electronics. So make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching.